Study Section 2, Modern African Drama, an Introduction. Introduction. This lecture aims at providing necessary background to the study of modern African drama to the students. Objective. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to explain the origin and classification of modern African drama. Content. Majority of African countries share the same experience of colonialism and neocolonialism with the aftermath of balkanization, capitalist economy, quasi-colonialist education, and alienated religion, which invariably resulted in social alienation and conflicting cultural balance in most of these African communities. Several attempts have been made by the earliest scholar of African literature to classify modern African drama. According to Oyin Ogumba, 1997, page 81, there are three identifiable broad categories into which modern African drama can be placed. These are propaganda plays, that is, politics and ideology, plays that express culture, naturalism, or plays that expresses preference for new cultural integration, vision, and finally the satiric plays. The classification, though relevant when it was first postulated, but has to give way because of new form of dramatic devices that have evolved. This kind of thematic preoccupation cannot stand the test of time, and more so, Oyin Ogumba is too generalizing in his classification. Another scholar that attempted classifying modern African drama is Michael Etterton. According to him, Olaroti means The Gods Are Not to Blame, 1979. James Ene Enshaws, This Is Our Chance, 1956. And Wole Soyinka's The Bouquets of Euripides, 1973, are transported plays. These plays have themes that are based on cultural problems and social ills, such as intertribal wars, etc., and are greatly influenced by Western tradition of drama. The Aristotelian Greek classic theories of drama were deeply followed. They only used African myth and symbols to appeal to the reader. The plays are a carbon copy of Greek mythology. Michael Etterton does not stop on this. He even states further that many of the dramatic writings of this first generation deals with colonial struggle. Such plays as Wole Soyinka's A Dance of the Forest, 1963, Olaroti means Overowe, Nogbezi, 1974, and Ungugi and Mughals, The Trial of Denda Kimati, 1976. Aside these two major developmental classifications, Michael Etterton further states that modern African drama could be grouped into Art Theatre 1 to 3. In the first Art Theatre 1, the focus is on the culture. Plays like Ama Ata Aido, Anoa, 1970. Sutherland's The Marriage of Anasewa, 1969. In the Art Theatre 2, Wole Soyinka's plays was given a particular attention, especially his protest plays. These include Madmen and Specialists, 1971, Death and the King's Horseman, 1975, Opera Wonyose, 1981. The last group, Art Theatre 3, Femi Oshofison's The Chattering and the Song, 1976, and Mokai Ajibade's Passus Post are identified as political plays. However, this classification of drama into Art Theatre 1 to 3 creates problems more than it could solve. For instance, the protest plays are often political because what they are protesting against was colonial domination. There is no nationalism struggle without protestation. It should be noted, therefore, that many of our cultural practices are used as tools for protest. In Ama Ata Aido Anoa, despite the fact that Anoa was destined to be apprenticed to goddess Pretes, she refused to be initiated and goes out all the way to look for her husband, in spite of the fact that it is the responsibility of her parent to do so. And in James Enshel's This Is Our Chance, the protagonist Kudaro went out to fall in love with someone her father had intertribal fracas with. This is considered a taboo in traditional custom for a child to marry his father's enemy. In all these cases, you will observe that culture was used as a protest. As a result of lack of clear distinctions in the classification of modern African drama, scholars have come up with another developmental classification. According to Joel Adedeji, modern African drama can be conveniently classified into 4 broad categories. These are culture plays, nationalist plays, rational plays, and neo-rational plays. There is no clear distinction between cultural and nationalist plays. Culture is among the component parts of nationalism. However, according to Joel Adedeji, if a play dwells on dislocation of social values and cultural decadence or cultural integration, the themes will definitely focus on culture. Similarly, if a play dwells on political ideology, call, persuasion, such a play is rational in nature. Nationalist plays is preoccupied with the struggle for independence and total emancipation from colonialist control. Many of the plays from East Africa echoed this struggle for national awareness and consciousness. The activities of Mau Mau formed the storyline of these plays. Ungugi and Mugus, the trial of Denda Kimate, is a good example of this nationalist plays. Rational plays fused both culture and nationalist plays together. In this case, carriers' motives are employed to quest into the future of young independent African states. An example of such play is Wole Soyinka's The Strong Breed, 1970. The last group in this category is the neo-rational plays. Though they draw their materials from lyric oral tradition, but these myths and symbols are made to perform a new role in the face of changing modernity. They are not to seek or reclaim the lost heritage, nor are they associated with conventions or pioneer playwrights like Wole Soyinka, J.P. Clark, Bekere Deremo, and Zulu Sofola, according to Abiola Irele, 1993, page 14. Neo-rational plays are natural extension and reformulation of traditional form in vigorous existence. In a continuous development that seeks to sustain the living principle of these forms under the changing circumstances of a new socio-political order and the condition of a problematic modernity. Those crops of playwrights are at liberty to change and replace orthodox myth, legends, tales, and monumental human beings with new order of reality and new myths that are capable of serving human beings. Amongst this group is Femi Oshofisa. Summary. In this lecture, we have examined the origin and scholarly classification of modern African drama. Their thematic preoccupations were slightly examined. This will be examined at regional level in the succeeding lectures. End of study section 2. Thanks for listening.